Hey, how's it going, subscribers? Welcome back to another brand new video from the Flaming Profits YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about daily budgeting. This is something I do on a daily basis, and it has helped me tremendously when it comes down to my personal finances. One of the common mistakes people make with budgets is they set them up as monthly budgets, and I'll go in depth on why this is incorrect and definitely not good in terms of you sticking to it. And if you're new to this YouTube channel, the Flaming Profits YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We've been growing pretty fast. Let's go ahead and get to 200 subscribers. That's my next goal. So go ahead and click the subscribe button. You definitely don't want to miss out any of our financial content that's going to benefit you tremendously. Free content for you that'll help you out. So no reason why not to subscribe. Alright, so the big mistake with monthly budgets is that the figures you have set up for example, if you're going to spend $800 in food for the month, that's kind of a really large figure that you can't even make sense out of. And breaking it down into a week's worth of food spending makes it a little bit more attainable, like you actually make sense of it. But even going further and breaking it down on a daily basis, it's even more of a figure you can actually work with. And I do this with every single thing. So for example, with income, rent, phone bill, internet bill, all those sorts of things, I break it down to its daily value that you're spending or you're earning. And this will make it so that you're fully aware of exactly how much you can spend that day, how much you are going to save that day, how much in income you have that day. And the great thing about budgeting is you're literally telling every single dollar where it's going to be allocated towards, whether it's going to be saved money, that single dollar, whether it's going to be spent on a particular category, whether it's going to be part of your income. So basically you're telling your money where it goes, and that's the way you should be with your money. You should be the controller of it, not someone else controlling your money. And this is why this is insanely important for you to start to implement on a daily basis. So this is a hypothetical budget. So let's say you make $3,000 a month. That is equivalent to $750 a week. And that means that every single day you're making $107.14 per day. This is a pretty interesting figure for you to calculate, because you're actually seeing how much every day of the week you are making. And I'm counting Saturdays and Sundays. So even though you're not working, you're technically still making $107.14 that day, because that's how much you're getting paid in a week and a month. So let's say your rent is $1,000 per month. That is equivalent to $250 a week, and that is equivalent to $33 per day. $33 per day is actually something you can work on. So meaning, you know in your head that you have to make sure that every single day you're making sure you're saving up $33 per day, so that at the end of the month you have enough money to pay that $1,000 rent. And this is how you set up these numbers into very small numbers that you can actually rationalize and logically reason with. So your rent might be $33 per day. Go ahead and calculate how much you have to be saving up per day in order to meet your mortgage payment or rent. This is a very interesting to figure out. So let's say phone bill and internet. This is $90 a month, which is equivalent to $22.50 per week. And per day it is $3.21. So definitely a lot lower than rent, and a lot lower than your income. So this is not that big of a strain on your budget, but I'll go in depth on the next step when it comes down to setting up your daily numbers, because there's still some work that you need to do. So let's go with food. So let's say you're spending $700 per month. You can't really make sense out of that number because it's too large. It makes more sense as a weekly figure, which is $175. So this week I'm gonna buy $175 worth of groceries. Or if you want to spend only $100 for groceries, subtract 100 from the 175 and use those $75 for going out food, and divide it on the days that you're gonna go out to spend money for food. And the $25 is the daily figure of food. So you should never spend more than $25 on food if your monthly budget is $700. So you kind of see how I'm breaking down every single figure into daily figures, because this is an actual number that you actually can work with and make sense out of. Gasoline is, let's say for example, it's $80 a month. That is $20 a week. You need to make sure you're saving $20 a week, or $2.85 per day. And basically, if you find a way to make outside of your work, make $3 every single day, then you're basically being able to spend that money on gasoline just by doing something else that's not involving your work, such as investing in the stock market. So let's go ahead with car insurance. Let's say you're paying $45 per month. That is equivalent to $11.25 per week and $1.60 per day. So $1.25 is really not that big of a deal. It's very small compared to your income and your food expenses. So yeah, it's a small figure, but putting into daily values really helps you out. So let's go ahead with the next thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and pretend that you have a Netflix subscription. I really don't know how much Netflix costs, but I'm going to assume it is $20 per month, which is equivalent to $5 per week. And on a daily figure, it is 71 cents per day. So that's how much Netflix is costing you. And then let's go ahead and do the overall math on the daily results that you're allocating towards income, savings, and expenses. Alright, so for the daily math results, we're going to go ahead and break it down. So you're making $107.14. You're going to go ahead and subtract all of your daily expenses. So those 33, the $3.21, 25, 285, 160.71. So go ahead and add those up. That'll give you $66.37 in daily expenses. If you take your income minus your daily expenses, let's say you're putting that extra money towards savings, so you're saving $40.77 per day, or $285.39 per week. Or if you want to put it into a monthly figure, then just multiply that by 4, which we're gonna get $1,000 and 416 with 56 cents per month. And you can also calculate it as a year. So just some general advice when it comes down to your personal finance. Once you have your daily budget, make sure your number one priority is increasing your income. So that's going to make the biggest difference when it comes down to your financial health. You should always be focusing on improving it. And there are plenty of ways to do this. And don't be afraid to change jobs. Did you know that the biggest raises a person gets on their annual salary comes from a new job, not bonuses? So you might want to consider that. You could be getting paid somewhere else a lot bigger raise just by switching into that new job. And every single job should be something that's going to get you to make more money in the long run. So this is something you should be focusing on and always be working on it. Once you are already making progress in increasing your income, the second step or advice is to focus on minimizing expenses, starting from highest to lowest. Why do I say highest to lowest? Because if you focus on minimizing the highest expenses, you're going to be seeing a bigger difference in how much you're going to be able to save. There's no point in trying to lower that Netflix subscription if you have it, because it's not really making that big of an impact on your budget. But let's say your food budget is making the biggest expense, so make sure you're focusing on minimizing that instead. You should still focus on lowering the lowest expenses, but spend more time on the highest expenses. That's all I'm saying. So most people, the highest expense most people have is rent or mortgage payment. try to minimize this in any way that you can, whether you have to move somewhere else or get a roommate that's paying you some rent money, renting a bedroom. Anything you can do to save on your rent or mortgage will definitely make a big difference in the long run, because this is the biggest expense most people have. If you can find a way to eliminate this expense completely, then go ahead and do it. Do everything you can, because this is going to make the biggest difference when it comes down to your personal finance. Number 3, save up 6 months of expenses for an emergency fund. This is critical and a big mistake a lot of people make. You can find yourself in very unfortunate situations sometimes. That's just how life is. So you should always be prepared to have 6 months of expenses saved up in an emergency fund. This will be used only for emergencies, and you'll be able to use this money even if you lose your job. That's the whole point of having an emergency fund. This fund, the whole purpose of it is to help you deal with an unfortunate situation without an insane financial worry. You're already under stress because of that circumstance. So the worst thing that can happen is for you to be in financial worry as well. So once you use some of the fund money to alleviate that emergency that you just had, make sure you pay that money back to your emergency fund. And one thing that you need to make sure of is your emergency fund should always be accessible instantly. So don't have it in an investment. This is not some money that you should be investing. Just leave it on the side. It doesn't matter if this money is not making money for you, because the whole point of this is to be an emergency fund for emergencies, and it should be attainable at all times, because an emergency can happen at all times. Number 4, there's gonna be a point where you reach a max on limiting your expenses, where if you eliminate more expenses or minimize them, then it's just gonna basically make you have a miserable life, and you definitely don't want that. Once you've done every single thing you can to minimize your expenses, make sure that now the only thing you can work on is increasing your income, and basically you've reached the end. Now all of this has increased your income, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope these tips help you in your personal finance arena. It's really going to help you out in the long run if you implement these and take them to heart and make sure you stick to it. A daily budget will help you kind of think of expenses and income on a daily basis, which is the smallest form that you can break it down to. Monthly budgets are very hard to stick to for a reason. So are weekly budgets. So daily budgets are your solution. Make sure you calculate how much are you making in income per day. How much in expenses are you making per day, and on what categories? How much are you spending on food per day? How much are you spending on your gas bill, on your internet bill, on your phone bill? This will make a big difference once you realize these numbers. Check out this referral links in the description. Make sure you subscribe to the Flaming Profits YouTube channel. I'm so glad I got to share this with you, and I hope this helps you out a lot. So yeah, subscribe, like, comment what you thought of this video. Thanks so much for checking out this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.